Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mikey Vox, and today I'm going to be talking about how to start an online band or how to get into an online band or just find any kind of music project online that you want to be a part of. And this is a little different than most of the other videos I post, which are basically just a bunch of fucking like covers and stuff, and like the one other video I have where I'm talking. And I will warn you, I do kind of ramble on, all right? I do tend to do that, so if you don't really like rambling about loose topics surrounding the thing I'm talking about, get on out of here, buddy. You're not going to like it. So, little background on me. I've been doing music since I was 12, all right? I've been doing harsh vocals, which is the main thing I do, for about 8 or 9 years now. I also played guitar, bass, harp, banjo, and ukulele. I also played the bowron when I was a kid, because that was just something my grandmother had, and I just thought it was fun to play the little Irish drum or whatever. But, you know, I've been around the block. I've played multiple instruments, and I kind of just landed on harsh vocals. Harsh vocals, if you don't know, is just screaming. So if you ever heard any music with screaming, that's kind of the realm that I work in most of the time. So I know that, like, generally people's first questions when it comes to doing online bands is why not just do a traditional band, like a band with real bandmates in real life that you know and can like hang out with and stuff. My thing is with that is that people are unreliable, and when it comes to getting someone to get off of their ass out of their house and drive to a fucking gig, or drive to a jam sesh, or just drive to meet the people that they've been talking to, I would hazard a guess that maybe 8 out of 10 times that just straight up does not happen. Or what will happen is everyone meets up one time and then no one meets up ever again. I would say that is almost always the thing that happens. And sometimes you vibe with the people, you all like get the vibe that this could really go somewhere. Maybe you're all really good musicians and you can really play off of each other. But then life happens or people suck and nothing ever comes from it. So what I kind of landed on after a few years of doing this was, you know, fuck it. I'm just going to look online, look in like subreddits, look on Discord, look on stuff like that, just to like find people online that have projects that they need vocals for or something like that, and start working on those. So that way, even though I can't like go out and meet the guy and hang out in a fucking dimly lit garage like in the olden days, at least I can get some fucking music out of it and put some stuff out that sounds cool. That's like the main reason why I think online bands in today's day and age are superior, because you can go from an online band to an in-person band. You can't really go from an in-person band to an online band. Like, it doesn't really work the same way backwards. And it doesn't matter what instrument you play. If you're looking for a specific genre to play, try to find subreddits, try to find Discords that have groups of people in there that generally dig the kind of genre that you want to start playing, and then just advertise yourself. One of the ways that I would say is the best way to kind of advertise yourself in the online space to try to find a project or a group of people that are starting a project, or maybe even a project that already exists. Have a backlog. Have songs you've written, have videos you've taken of yourself playing or singing or doing whatever. Have videos of you writing, have videos of you doing covers, like do that kind of stuff. So that way, because your word doesn't really fucking mean anything. Musicians love to talk a big game, and then when the chips are down, they completely shit the bed, or they're not able to actually keep up with what they said they can. And one of the best ways to try to dispel that kind of idea from you is show that you can actually do the thing. Don't just say, oh, I can do this, oh, I can do that. Just be like, okay, here's some stuff I've done. Let me know what you think. Don't try to sell me on it. Show me it. Like, show me the product. Don't try to sell it to me. Because if you're trying to sell it yourself to me, I'm not playing ball. I kind of have already gone through that a million times. I know what's going to end up happening, and it's going to be you don't have the work ethic, or you kind of suck, and you're not really good enough to like be doing the kind of thing that you're claiming that you want to be doing. And all that really boils down to is that your ego is bigger than how good you are at playing. So what you really have to understand is know what you're capable of and know what you have to work on and practice a lot. Don't try to get into like a tech death band where they're playing at 180 BPM and have only been able to play like Blackbird last week. You know what I mean? Like, understand your level and try to find people that are around or maybe a little above your level. Show them what you got, and if they like it, cool, man, you're in. But if they don't like it or you're just not a good fit, don't take it personal. Just keep it moving. Because I fucking promise you, there are people that have a project going on right now that you want to be able to play in, and it's in the genre that you want to play in, and they're good people, and they will work with you. You just have to look for it. So the way I did it, and I'm not sure if this will work for everybody, but it's a pretty foolproof way to do it, is start practicing, get good enough to where you think that you're ready, start doing covers. Do covers of songs you like. It doesn't have to be anything fucking crazy. Just do good, competent covers. Do a couple of songs that maybe you wrote, post them, do all that kind of stuff, have them ready, and then start looking on Discords, start looking on Reddit, start looking on, I don't know, Twitter, Facebook, just start looking on different social medias. I usually default to Discord because it's easy to just send audio and video files between each other really fast and like be able to talk to everybody in a group or one-on-one. That's just the way I've always done it. And say you've been hit up and someone's like, hey, I think that that one cover you did of a song is pretty good. I'm looking for someone to fill in this position of the thing that you were doing. Can we work together? Now, here's the way that I kind of vet people based off of whether or not I think that either I'm a good fit for the project that they have, or if I think the project itself is a good fit for me. I generally start asking questions like, okay, well, how long has this project been around? Is it a new project? Is there any kind of music already put out? Is it something that you've been working on and haven't put anything out for it yet? Is this something where it's like, you only want me for one song? Do you want me for an EP? Or do you want me for an album cycle? Is this something like it's only going to be like a one-shot kind of band? Or is this something that I'm going to have consistent work for the next year or two, or even longer, depending on the kind of style that you do? And I won't say that working with someone for only one song is necessarily a bad thing. What I would say is, what's the goal? Does this person have a goal? Do you have a goal? Is it like, have you never put an album out before? Have you never done a full length? Have you never done an EP? If that's something you want to do, I would say don't necessarily stray away from singles with people. I would say that they're good practice. They're good to hear different mixes and different masters of your sound through different people and different producers, or if you're just like producing it yourself or something like that. It's nice to hear different iterations of your sound through different people, because then you kind of understand where you're lacking, where you're strong, what to work on. And I would say that if you have already done a couple singles, maybe you've done a few EPs, maybe you've worked with a bunch of different people already, try to find something a little more serious. Try to ask, like, hey, is this going to be something that we can kind of make a brand out of? Is this something that we can kind of like continually work on, like have maybe a couple of albums instead of just dropping one? Because at that point, it's like you're really vetting how serious is this guy about music itself. Because at some point in every musician's career, they're going to want to be taken seriously, even if you do goofy shit. Like, even if you do like super silly ass songs all the time, there's going to become a point where you want to make something a little more serious that you want someone to listen to and not just laugh at. You want them to listen to it and go, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. Oh, I like that part. Oh, I like that part. I didn't really like this. You could work on that. And like start building a more full, more well-rounded sound for yourself. Because say this probably isn't going to be the one true band that you always fucking play for. You're going to have other projects, and you want to be competent in those other projects that do other sounds that sound a little or a lot different. And even now, in the current pretty serious project I'm in, that I've been working on for, you know, around 7-8 months on, and we're only putting out an EP, it's like we're working pretty fucking hard on it. I still do one-shots. I still do like a song or two for someone else. I still do other stuff. I don't just burden myself with this one serious project, even though I do take it very seriously and I want it to sound as good as it can. But it's good to have that ability to do multiple things and be good at it, or at least competent. Because I'm all for making silly covers. Like I did a goofy cover of the Lego Batman song. I've done goofy covers of like the Fairly Odd Parents song. But then I have a bunch of songs of me going oog og bree 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 about like the government and shit like that. You know what I mean? So you don't always want to be like pigeonholed into one thing. You want to like get good at one thing and then start getting good at another thing and then get good at another thing. And what ends up happening is that the amount of projects that fit exponentially grow. So you won't just be like, oh, well, I can only play punk or grunge in bands where everyone's only played for 2 or 3 years and it's just noisecore. You know what I mean? So let's say you found your band, you found like generally what you're going to be doing, and you want to know, okay, well, how do I put this out there? How do I get people to see it? So generally you're going to want to go through a distributor, something like DistroKid. That's what I use. It's like $40 for like a year or some shit like that. And then you just upload the files through there. You upload the art through there. You put the name of your band. You put the name of this, that, and the third, and it will upload it to Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you know, shit like that. And then at that point, instead of like just uploading it and leaving it where it lies, you got to start thinking about advertising. And advertising is a little trickier because it's a lot more hands-on than just uploading your shit through a distributor, because you don't actually have to do anything. So it's like, you know, you have to start making social media accounts. You have to start uploading like art and photos of people in the band, of like you guys playing. You have to start making videos and like promos for upcoming stuff, for stuff you've already made. Start making like lyric videos. Start making like little music videos if you can. So basically, like if you have someone in the band or you yourself is like pretty social media savvy, you're going to have to start getting on that pretty quickly. Sometimes what you can do, if you're like already kind of doing that also, and you want to try to almost like exponentially grow at least a little bit from where you are, you can start hitting up people who are like reactors or some shit, because that's, for some reason, that's super big and people really fucking like watching them. So if you can find like a smaller reactor that like listens to music and is specifically the genre that you make, you can hit them up. Or, you know, you could fucking go to channels or certain social media people that like their whole thing is that they promote smaller bands, and you know, you can throw your hat in the ring with them. And like, for example, like Slam Worldwide, for people who like listen to like metal and stuff like that, I'm sure you've heard of Slam Worldwide at some point, maybe. You know, it's a guy who posts all of the videos and lyric videos and music videos that smaller bands make, and it's honestly pretty good engagement for when, you know, you're new and you've never done anything before. Like, it's a cool way to get at least like 1,000 to 2,000 people just off rip listening to your stuff, because like that doesn't sound like a lot, and realistically it's not in the long run. But when no one has ever listened to your song, that's 1,000% more people than the big fat fucking goose egg, just staring right at you. And I'm not going to go into like how to get art done, how to get certain things done, because you can just look that up or find it yourself when you're specifically looking for it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. There's a whole lot of moving parts to it. There's a lot of stuff that like is just trial and error. Stuff you're just going to have to figure out on your own. There's not going to be like a how-to on like 70% of the shit. And that other 30% is stuff that like you directly control. There's going to be a lot of things that you can't control, and there's going to be a certain smaller amount of things that you can. Just worry about the shit you can control, and you're going to be just fine. Everything else will kind of fall into place if there's a place for it. But yeah, guys, that's kind of the long and short of it. There's a whole lot of stuff involved, a whole lot of moving parts, a whole lot of people being reliable. And this really just comes down to trial and error. Not every project that sounds good is going to be good, and not every project that sounds bad is going to be bad. You really just got to kind of find a sweet spot, find what you're comfortable with, work outside of it every once in a while to make yourself better, make yourself more open to things, try other shit out, and do your best to try to make the best kind of sound that you can for whatever your intent is. But yeah, if you guys like this video or if you want more stuff like it, let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I don't really give a shit if you do or not. Yeah, peace out.